Alright guys, well, welcome back to Rampant Lion Reviews. So yesterday was the channel's 10th anniversary. We uploaded the first video on the 31st of July 2013. But you might have noticed as well that the artwork for the channel changed yesterday, and this sexy little thing is responsible for that. So this is Johan Jonsson, one of my old colleagues from the Bishop's Arms in Gustavus Torg in Malmö. He is the artist behind the new cover picture and the logo. So yeah, firstly, thank you for doing a very nice design for me.
Anytime, but yeah, no, it was great fun making it.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool actually. It just kind of came to me because whenever we were working, Johan would quite often be there either before or after work drawing a little bit, and it was always nice just to kind of put your head round and see what he was doing that day. You know, I always quite enjoyed that. But yeah, no, like when did you start drawing? When did you get your interest in art?
It's funny you should ask, because I spent my entire childhood just thinking I wasn't really good at drawing at all, so I never actually pursued it in any form of way. But it was then a few days shy of me turning 23 that I discovered manga again, because I used to grow up with that art medium. And yeah, I started reading some manga and stuff again, picked it up in my early 20s, and then yeah, once I turned 23 I was like, it'd be quite fun to do this stuff actually. So yeah, and I just went down to the local bookshop, got some pens and papers, and yeah, 6 years later, here I am.
There you are, yeah. So you have quite a few things that you do just now, like a webcomic and stuff. Can you run through those and say what kind of stuff you're working on for the moment?
Yeah, of course. So the webcomic it's been on a bit of a break for the past few months, but it's going to be, but I've been running it for about a year and a half, then it took about a year of pre-production before I actually put it up on the website. But yeah, no, so it's genre fiction, and it was essentially a way for me to learn to draw by just doing it, essentially. So project-based learning. So yeah, but adventure stuff, action, comics, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, I will admit, guys, I am completely artistically illiterate. For me, when it comes to the creative side of things, music is where it is for me. I can draw good technical drawings, but otherwise I'm terrible.
You did have some very strong opinions, though, when it came to how it was supposed to look, though.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. So, we
I remember getting points, alright, you need to have that, and in this placement. So yeah.
Yeah, that's probably just my OCD. Yeah, I'm a bit weird like this. I probably do have OCD. You know, my heavy metal albums have to be alphabetical order by artist and then release date. It's stuff like this. Yeah, no, I'm a pain in the arse in some respects with that. But yeah, no, when we discussed it, we kind of I think what I said to you with the new artwork was to have a kind of reimagining of what was there before, really.
The original one, yeah. Because that was it was a tattoo artist that you got permission to use the profile picture.
Yeah, no, so she was based in Canada somewhere, and I just found her lion, and then I wrote her and said, I've from Scotland got a YouTube channel, I liked your lion, can I use it as the symbol for my channel? And she was like, oh yeah, no worries. Samantha Bond, I went to say her name was.
Oh.
It was years ago now though, because that was maybe a year or two into the channel when I changed the name to Rampant Lion Reviews. But yeah, Johan will tell you that I love a tankard. I love a saddle to drink my beer from. So that was the other.
I think that was the most time-consuming bit of the whole project. The profile picture when I had to render liquid and just figure out so how does the light bounce in a glass? It's not cloudy, but it's not crystal clear either. So how do I make the light work in colour?
So I remember there was quite a few things around this, Johan sat for a good few hours just with an empty Pilsner Urquell glass in front of him, like doing lots of different iterations of this. Oh, like do this kind of pattern on it, or do I leave it, like, you know, I remember you kind of playing around. And then we had the debate about what colour the beer should be as well.
Yeah, so I literally had I literally made two of them. So first it was either like goldenish or mahogany. So I never actually finished up with the mahogany version, but I got like 50-60% in. And then I think we just both decided, like, oh, let's go lager, gold.
Yeah, no, because this was the thing. The idea behind having a darker beer was that, you know, I love Dunkels, Doppelbox, Scotches. My favourite styles are the kind of more brown sugary ones. So that was the main idea, I think, behind having a mahogany one. But it actually looked better with the gold, I think, and it matched up with the colour and the mane of the Lion as well, because. From what I remember too, at the start, I was kind of keen to have a more like heraldic crest lion, but then you came up with this like really realistic one, which was beautiful. I was like, no, use that.
I remember that. I remember that night actually. I was sitting, it was after a shift at the Bishop's, and I was just sitting by the bar and just doing some studies of lions, and it was this semi-realistic-ish. Illustration of the lion, and I think it was like you were working and you just like saw across the bar, he was sitting next to me, and it's like, oh, I think I might reconsider now actually. It was fun. It was like many twists and turns, and I liked it. An adventure really.
Yeah, no, that was it. It was quite fun. It was, as I say, I think I had the idea of like a heraldic lion first, but then it became a more realistic one later on, and then because of the kind of Scottish and Swedish side of the channel, that's where the colours in the main come from as well.
And let's not forget, you were the actual reference for the pose as well.
Oh yeah, no, I had to. I had to model a little bit holding a sable, like in the kind of pose of the lion too. So
exactly. I told James, basically, like, oh, can you just hold up this Pilsner Urquell glass and look like you're shouting in profile.
Yeah.
And that was the basis for the profile picture. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no. So it was quite fun. The other thing was because you did the cover picture for me as well. Because before, obviously, the cover picture on the channel was literally a photo of one of the mountains, one of the Munros at home that I just thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. But you made you turned it into a sort of graphical type style. Yeah.
So. That was one of the big main reasons why I wanted to do this job, because there was so many things about it that I've never actually tried doing before. So it was a bit of a learning curve, most of it, but it was great fun. And when it came to the Highlands, the illustration there, figuring out the colours, but I remember the main part there was also the research. I remember having a mood board of, it was like 6, sometimes up to 10 different pictures of the Highlands with, in general, the same colour scheme, and just working off of that when I was doing the whole image. And then obviously, like we talked about, how I finished the banner and tried checking if the dimensions were working on YouTube's website, and it's like, oh, this has to almost be double the width. So I think it took me like literally an entire day just to figure out the dimensions right.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me you were cause this was the thing, the pictures were done and very happy with, but then that formatting was one of the probably the most fiddly part of the whole thing, wasn't it?
The profile picture was easily the easiest part. Basically, just like lower down the resolution of DPI. That's quite common though when it comes to like uploading to the web, especially. Normally, rarely goes above 144 or something. But it was just when it came to, so that was easy. Just like expand the canvas, make it a square, and it's like, all right, the profile picture's there, cool. It was literally just a banner. It took me an additional 16 hours, I think. But it's just like expanding, painting out, uploading. Oh, it doesn't work. Expanding, painting out, uploading, doesn't work. Back and forth.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me you were putting it up on your own YouTube thing just to see does it work, does it work, does it work.
Exactly. That was literally the only reference that I had because I couldn't ask you like, oh, can you try uploading this to your channel? I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
So literally. Just literally uploading both. It's like, alright, does it work? Alright, cool. But it was a process.
But no, I mean, as you can see from yesterday, it being changed, it turned out very nicely actually. So I'll need to make like a proper post on Instagram and on YouTube itself and Facebook and things to kind of show it. But like what we'll do is we'll put the link to your. I'm trying to remember how your Instagram works because you put all your artwork on your kind of personal one, don't you? Or do you have a separate one for your artwork?
The way that I normally do things these days is I do have an Instagram because it feels like you kind of have to. But then also when it comes to the portfolio stuff, I've actually moved to ArtStation when it comes to that. It's essentially a online portfolio website for people looking for jobs within the creative industry. So that's normally where I'm putting up the portfolio stuff. But we'll sort the links later on.
Yeah, we'll put I'll put all of Johan's links in the video description for you below. Just as a little thing for the future, not the immediate future, but we have chatted a little bit with some of the other Bishops guys about having a beer brand. That's something that we'll think about in the future.
Do I get to decide on the colour schemes?
Oh yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Pink and fabulous.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. But it's I mean when I look at, there's a few of Johan's drawings, paintings up behind here. And it's they're very kind of like dystopian anime style type thing. I think it's really cool actually. So as I say, go and have a scroll through what he has on the Instagram. The comic book style stuff is really cool as well. Again, I'm saying artistic words here and probably saying the completely wrong things, but
go on, man. Keep stroking.
Yeah. But message them through Instagram if you have anything that you'd like done, because you'll get a very good job out of it. But since it's a beer channel, though, I need to ask you about your. We need to do some beery questions, obviously. So we obviously worked together in the Bishops from April 22 until about May or June, I forget, of this year, 2023. What was your favourite beer that we had on tap?
Out of every single one that we had, I can only pick one.
Okay. Well, a couple then, fine.
I can do a couple?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So, I know that hazy double IPAs has been crazy popular for numerous amounts of years, but I do have to tip my hat off to the Boss Tweed.
M40. Yeah.
It was before you came in. We got it in back in 2020 when I recently started working there. Partially because, I mean, obviously it's a great double IPA, well balanced, and also just because me loving form language, the grip tape and the logo on it was just spectacular. It literally had everything you would want to know about the beer. Like, here's all the hops, here's all the malts, here's essentially how it got made, and this is how you're supposed to be rolling it, and how many laps before you're supposed to crack it open. I just loved it. It was like a massive instruction manual around the can.
That's old. Oh, that's Old Nation Brewing Company. That's what it is. It was annoying me what the name of the brewery is. Yeah, Old Nation, Boss Tweed. That's a good one.
It's all good, man. The second one. I would probably have to go with. This was actually a very recent one because it was mainly because I hadn't had it since 2015, back in my Brewdog days when I used to work for those folks back in London. But towards the end of my time at the Bishops now, we did end up having the Imperial Brown Stout from the Colonel.
Oh, that's a good show. Yeah.
And that was an amazing blast from the past. I actually forgot how much I loved that beer. Because yes, the West Coast IPA back when I was 21, that was essentially my, I don't know, gateway beer, the Punk IPA. But I very quickly transitioned over to Imperial Stouts. I don't know, because I'm a junkie for coffee. So Boss Tweed and Imperial Brown Stout, chef's kiss.
On the subject of Kernel though, table beer. That was also very good.
I think that's the only beer we had on tap that you can legally drink on shift as well, because it's such low ABV. You wouldn't, but technically you could.
Yeah, it was like 2.8%, because we had a few versions of it, the Cascade, the Columbus, I think we had a Mosaic one as well, or an Azaka one, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we did. We did go through a phase when we were just like blasting through a bunch of kegs of
table beer.
Great stuff.
Yeah. So that's it. If you had to pick a favourite beer style then, is that possible?
It is. These days I'm pretty much, not entirely, but I've transitioned over to a lot of lagers these days. Personally, a lot of the darker stuff. But like I mentioned earlier, I'd say I'd still go for the Imperial Stouts, or Stouts in general, but preferably the dry Imperial Stouts. That would be my go-to. I think that's the one beer style that I've never actually felt like I had to take a break from.
The old school RIS, the more toasty ones. Yeah, no, I enjoy that. A good imperial milk. I like the imperial milk stouts as well.
Oh, you're all about the lactose.
I do like those, yeah. But I have to say, I've never took to the pastry stouts. I'm not a great fan of pastry stouts.
Pastry stouts are alright, but I think it's the same thing with milk stouts, because remember back, it was winter, so 2015 to 2016, that winter, I remember, at least in the UK, milk stouts just exploded. It's a great beer style, don't get me wrong, but I think it was one of those, like, you just got kind of fed up with the stuff for a bit. But I think it was kind of the same thing with the pastry ones as well. But I mean, it's a great style, but I suppose it depends on like how much of a sweet tooth you've got.
I mean, the one that, you've just said, oh, this is my thing. If you spend time around me, you'll realise I have a very contextual memory. Someone says something to me and it sets off like a whole thing in here. You mentioned Brewdog, Riptide. The 8% sweet stout. That was a favourite of mine back in the day, actually.
Great
stout. Yeah, that was a really, really good one, actually. I had it within the last 5 years or so as well, and it was still as good as I remember. That's one thing I found with Brewdog.
Back in 2018?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, wait, do you remember, like, roughly when's about during the year? It was like during the Christmas season, because you do have like a Christmas calendar sometimes, and that's how the Dogma came back for sure.
Oh yeah. The Dogma was another favourite too, but Dogma didn't taste the same. The Riptide did, and this is one of the things I found with Brewdog was that the darker beers actually kept up the quality, but the lighter ones didn't. Some of the lagers were decent though, I would say that.
I remember the oh sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine.
No, I think it's funny you should say that, because the last beer I had from Brewdog was Coca Psycho. That was years ago now.
Oh, I remember that.
But I remember, just like what you said about the Riptide, the Coca Psycho held up throughout my entire time within Brewdog for 3 years there. Yeah.
That stayed on. They did keep that for a long time actually. So it was good. It was a good beer, that.
Oh, is it gone?
Yeah. I think they still bring it back every so often, but it's just, they're so prolific. But yeah. But yeah, no, that's it. So I mean, if you do want to go and chat beer with Johan, you'll find him at Beer Ditch, usually Fridays and Saturdays.
Mainly weekends, yeah.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, it might do one odd day during the week as well, but mainly Friday and Saturday. Yeah, pop on by.
Yeah, come on by, ask him about his artwork, give him lots of jobs. Yeah, no, that's it. But no, it was really cool to have you to do a little kind of introduction-y interview type thing for the artwork for the channel, and I hope you guys like it. I'm certainly very pleased with it, and we'll see. You might have to reimagine it again in another 10 years if the channel's still going.
I was going to say, I really hope you guys like the artwork. Yeah, I spent a lot of hours on it. It was a learning curve, but I'm so glad I did it. Learned like tons. So yeah.
You said that was only your second paid job, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, if you want to be really technical, it was the first job outside of my family as well. Because the first paid job was my younger sister. She got a kid, my nephew, and she asked me, "Oh, can you make a portrait out of him?" It's like, "Cool, sure. I'll pay these." Like, okay. It was just 1,000 crowns, so nothing more than that. But yeah, no. So, and the second one who came and asked me, that was we were sitting outside of P with the Polish beer bar. I remember you asked me then.
Yeah. I actually can't remember when I asked you. I just remember watching it get done. It was quite cool. Yeah.
I think it was almost like a year ago now.
Yeah, no, actually, this is the thing. I'm pretty sure that you had it done basically around Christmas time, but we kind of sat on it. I was debating when to put it on, but I think doing it for the 10th anniversary is quite nice. So the artwork has been done for a few months actually, and it's been ready to go. So yeah, now we've finally got it up, and that's that.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was just a few days shy of Christmas Eve actually that it got finished. Because I remember towards the end, because I was working on the webcomic, producing at least 3 comic pages a week. Christmas season at the pub, which was so busy, and then your job, I remember. So yeah, I remember at a point I was like, all right, let's just put the webcomic on the side for the moment, so I can just finish your job.
You just decided that you wanted to get it finished at one stage, and remember, right, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember just taking a break on everything. Took 2 days, and I'm just like, all right, think, and then the 3 days that came afterwards, just finished off the banner. I remember. So
yeah, because we did argue about when he got paid as well, because he wanted to finish it first, and I was like, no, you get some money now because you put a lot of time into it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like, because it was a thing of principle for me. It's like, no, it's like, I'm not going to expect you to pay me until it's actually until the file is on your computer, and then you're like, no, fuck you, you'll be getting half now and half in a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, alright.
That was it. So I think you got told, right, yeah, there's half, there's the second half.
Yeah, because you'd gone to Japan, right? And then just one day, all of a sudden, you just transferred the money to me. Just getting I remember getting the notification on my phone. It's like, oh.
Yeah, okay. just so you can argue, basically. Yeah, but that was it. But that was fun. So as I said earlier, I think go and have a look through Johan's links that we have in the description below. Give him lots of work. Give him lots to do so he can live as an artist and use his other job for beer money. And that's that. But as I said, really cool to have you on, and. You will see more. I will say that you will see more from the old Bishop's crew at some point. We do have 1 or 2 ideas and things that we're going to go through, and it could include, because I know how to brew, it could include a little beer brand or something, and this man will be doing the labels, I'm sure, when that comes to fruition. So, we'll see how it goes. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Check out all the links and stuff in the video description below. As I say, make this guy a rich artist, and we'll leave it there. So it's time to go and sit in the park and enjoy some beers. So although it's not as sunny as we were expecting to do.
I think we're going to get a little bit of sun though.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also. I don't think it's going to rain though.
We'll see.
You're right.
But I think it's time for kebab pizza and beer.
It's tea time, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all.
So guys, as I say, thank you again. Big shout out to my good friend Johan Jonsson, and give him lots of jobs. Slams just now, guys. Cheers.
See ya.